opening and exploring the chapel. We learned there is some dark ceremony that, as presumably, Mr. Blackwood tried to use to stop an African curse that accompanied him when bringing a mask back to his home from Africa. Oh, this is the workshop, apparently. Anyway, yeah, so there's that. So, with some help from chat, I appreciate your help, guys, we were able to progress that far. So we did this phone call, and then this. We ended up seeing that the letter R was needed. That was in the crypt. So basically, a series of a few things. We had a stone on us, and there were a lot of different things you could use the stone for. It was suggested in chat that we use the stone to break a window. I went around the Blackwood Manor and didn't find anything there, but then we went out to the greenhouse, not the greenhouse, the crypt, and I threw the rock up into the skylight, and nothing really happened. It just kind of skidded around a little bit and then fell down onto the bottom floor. I grabbed it and I tried it one more time. Then the second time, it broke the window and it let more light in. So then we went back into the manor, into the what presumably was once Catherine Blackwood's bedroom. Okay, and she had a mirror there, so we got the mirror. We used a screwdriver and we unhooked the mirror from the stand where it was. Then we took the mirror back into the crypt. We used some wire that we had gotten in opening the crypt in the first place, I believe. The wire that was on the handles. It was that or the greenhouse. I think it was for the crypt. Anyway, we took that and attached it to the mirror, and then we attached the whole thing onto one of the candelabras in the crypt. That was able to then deflect the light from the skylight that was coming through, and then deflect it down so that we could read an R on one of the plates down inside the crypt. That R then was the beginning of the name. So we went back up, and it looked like there were a few other letters missing. So we went back into the dead son's room. Well, the room where this child would have been had the child survived, right? And there were blocks on the ground, and we were able to work out OBIN, ROBIN, Robin. So we took the numbers that matched that. So each block had a number on it as well as the letter. So we took the matching numbers, used those in a row, those numbers in a row. We're able to open that box in the far right drawer of the desk in the study. So opening that, we got a key. The key went to the chapel. Welcome, Fofox. And then from the chapel, we proceeded to find several other things, including the information about the ceremony. So that's where we left off last time. So now we know, well, it's strongly suggested. I mean, we pretty much know, right? But technically speaking, we're highly suspicious that John, or whatever his name was, Blackwood, used some kind of a dark ceremony to try to stop the curse. So he brought this mask back from Africa. Turns out, based on what we read in below the chapel, that the natives, the tribe that he'd encountered in Africa had used a ceremony, killing one of their own in the process, to trap the spirit, this evil spirit that was stalking them, putting it in a mask. Turns out Blackwood brought the mask, that same mask, back with him to this manor in England. So now the mask is here. The mask started kind of, radiating its influence or whatever, and causing, Blackwood believed, the mask caused his son Robin to die. So, believing that the curse would continue to affect other people, Blackwood decided, it seems, that he might need to create a sacrifice and do the ceremony himself to stop it from spreading. Thus, probably is a little iffy, because I don't know we have enough information, but it's very possible that he killed his wife as a sacrifice in the process of trying to stop the curse from continuing to spread. Of course, this would not be a one-time thing, I wouldn't think, since that tribe did that sacrifice over and over again every so often. So if Blackwood sacrificed his wife's life, is he going to try to kidnap other people later and sacrifice them? I mean, this is probably not a thing that's going to end, right? So, yeah, okay, sure. Whatever, Fox. Anyway, so that's where we left off with that. So we need to make... So the sacrifice required a concoction also. So we have on us this branch. On the branch, we need to put something belonging to a victim. So Catherine probably, thus probably why we're going to eventually dig her up whenever that happens. So something belonging to a victim or somebody important in the ceremony, okay? Plus, what was the other thing? There was one other thing. I don't remember now. Something else. And then we blend this and the victim's item and whatever the other thing is. Those three things, we kind of mix them together, and then we put them on this branch. And then we use that branch to tickle the chin of the mask or something, whatever, and that will stop the spirit, because the spirit will be too busy laughing from being tickled or something. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but something like that. Hey, Syllable, welcome. You hope I finish this tonight? I don't know how likely that is. I still feel like we got a ways to go, but I don't know. I mean, we've definitely made a lot of progress. I just don't know that we've made enough to finish this tonight, but we'll see. So I need, in order to finish whatever else, I need at least to find Catherine's body, dig it up and get an item from it, and then I need whatever that other thing is that I couldn't remember. I need those three things, and then a container or something to use, and then put all this on here and cook and heat it up, I think. Maybe I don't do a container. Maybe I just put them directly on here. I'm not sure. I've been assuming we need a container, but maybe we don't. But anyway, I need at least those three things. Put them on here. We light it. We create the concoction. We put it on the branch. And then we go tickle the mask's funny bone or something. So, we at least need to find those things out. You need to know, well, yeah, I'm just saying, I'm not going to, on purpose, take forever figuring things out. But I also don't know, given my track record, I'm not sure we're going to finish tonight. It's kind of dependent, I guess, on my not being so slow. We need some way of figuring out. I know, right? Like, what a weird demon. It's like, I'm only going to calm down and stop murdering people if you tickle me. It's so weird. I need to find out how we're going to pinpoint Catherine's location, because without that, apparently we're not going to dig, because he just goes, I don't know where to dig. I mean, this whole area, obviously, but we don't know the exact spot. So that's a bit of a problem. I thought we would get it by going to the floorboards in the old servants' quarters, right? Because if you go there, there's a picture of Out of the Garden where you're gonna be doing your stuff, like be digging and everything. But apparently, when we actually go out there, we don't have it pinpointed enough, because he goes, it doesn't make sense to me. So, see right here. But I don't know how we're gonna figure out where that is exactly. So there's that too. We've already gone close up on all the different windows as well, and we have yet to find any way of interacting with the window. So I don't think we're going to see something from the window here and then be able to use that to find out where we need to go. That doesn't seem like that's going to be a thing, because none of the windows let you interact at all. Except for the close one in the hall right here, but that's just curtains, not the window itself. So none of the windows on that side of the house where the garden would be let you actually do something that would give you like a narrow pinpoint to know where exactly to dig. Additionally, out in the actual garden itself, there's no indicator other than somewhere out here. Somewhere out there in the garden to dig. Somebody's got a shovel but can't pinpoint a pig. So that's a bit of a problem. I'm not really sure, but I feel like there might be more things in the house or the other buildings, like maybe the greenhouse or something, that we have to uncover. Like, even though we've made some progress, it feels like there might be more things we have to open or whatever before we're able to progress further. But I don't know what I would be looking for. So that's, number one, I don't know that I actually need that. I just am making an assumption. And number two, if I do need that, I don't know where it's going to be or how I'm going to get it. So that's a bit of a problem. It's like 2 p.m. now in game, like in the game. So we have a few hours, maybe 3-4 hours of light before it's going to be probably go to sleep again and then wake up the next morning, assuming we even stay here longer. That's the thing, is I feel like we might just finish the day here, and then the last part of the game is just a bunch of stuff at night. I feel like that might be a thing. So there's that. Splashed my nose with the liquid when I was pulling it away from my mouth. Okay. So what do we not have open? We don't have these drawers open. I'm not saying we ever will get them open, but we don't have these open. We don't have the cover plate down in the basement open. out in the crypt, other than possibly pulling that nameplate off of its spot below one of the coffins. I'm not sure if there's anything else in the crypt we would really want to or be able to do. So I'm going to say for now, I'll keep the nameplate in the back of my head, but for now I'm going to say we're done with the crypt. So we have the cover plate in the basement. We have the drawer here to potentially open. We have down, so in the kitchen, yeah, it's a great movie, isn't it? Great story. We have this that's possibly going to come into play at some point, but we just don't know. I don't know when it will be, if it even happens. I don't think there was anything else in the kitchen we failed to do, except that this couldn't open, and I don't know that it will, but it's possible this will open. So we've not opened the cover plate in the basement. We've not opened this. We've not opened that drawer out in this hall. Open the baby coffin. Every time I go to the coffin and like try to examine it, he says basically, yeah, I don't really feel like I should be trying to examine the remains of a baby. I looked at one coffin, that's enough. So I don't think he's going to let us. Because I thought a couple of times we might want to look in that baby's coffin, but I think he's not going to let us. We can try again when we get back out there at some point. But so those three things for sure don't open. What else downstairs does not open? There is... Well, it opens, but there is the bottle of alcohol in here. The JB's in here that he says like is his favorite or something like that, but he doesn't want to actually, but he won't actually do anything with it. There's this drawer here. We've not, no, we've opened this one. That's right. This has napkins and stuff. I keep thinking that drawer. No, that one we've opened. There's, if we go over here in the study, we've now, I think, seen all the drawers in the desk there, but this drawer here does not open also. So that's another drawer we have yet to open. Okay. The front room, I don't believe there's anything here we've not done. At least with what we know currently. I don't think there's anything here. There's possible something will happen with the piano later, but for the time being, nothing. We don't have any clues telling us anything about the piano will be significant. So it may or may not be something later. I don't think there's anything in this room, thus. In this little room here, there are no drawers, so I don't believe there's anything in here either. The closest we had for looking outside was this window here, but we can't do anything with this. I can't open this. I can't anything. So I can't interact with it at all. Okay, so that room is no. This room, the only thing we've not yet done in this room is there's the umbrella here. I don't know that we actually do anything with the umbrella ever. We might, but I don't know that we actually do. Currently, I don't think we have anything that kind of indicates I need like a cloth that the umbrella might be made out of, or a hook that would be the handle or something. I don't think we have any clues that reference any of those things that might make sense to try to get off of an umbrella. So I don't think we have anything for the umbrella. So we have, I'll label that as we don't yet know what the umbrella is for, because I feel like we might use it, but I don't know when. Because it's empty. Sure. Okay, so here we have these zoom parts of the paintings where you can zoom in, but I don't know if, I mean, it seems silly that you could zoom in and this has no significance. So presumably this has something useful in it, but I just don't know what. And there are two of them, like almost right next to each other. So presumably each one of them has something useful, right? But I don't know what I'm supposed to get off of those. Maybe they'll be significant during the night sequence. That's always a possibility too, of course. All right. So there's that. But I didn't get anything new when I looked at it just now. I don't know how it ties into the story at all, but I get the feeling that this right here, with the where there's the knight with the sword, or the soldier at least with the sword, and these valuables, makes me feel like he's kind of a looter. Like after the battle, when there are a bunch of dead people, he's going around trying to get rich off of what is left behind by everybody, except that obviously he's not completely safe, so he's got his sword drawn and armor on still, because he knows it's a dangerous prospect. Penguin's been here. Yeah, sorry folks, I didn't notice. So I'll pause here so you can examine this one first, then I'll return to the other one and you can examine it again. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I didn't notice that you were trying to analyze it yourself. Of course, you could pause the stream and then continue after the fact, but whatever, I'll hold here for a bit. So there are a lot of things I see here that could be useful in some context somewhere, but I just don't have any indicator that they are useful right now in the story. There's a belt loose. What looks like a belt anyway. There are a lot of things. There's a frying pan, plates and goblets and things. But again, I don't know that any of these are significant right now. So that's the thing, is I can't see anything that would, when you see it, you go, oh, I wonder if this has to do with, I don't see. Look where the belt is. So the belt is here coming down to, I don't know. I don't know what this is. Can I see if I go out of it? So, where is he in the painting? Oh, he's here. Okay, he's here. So the belt is coming to... It looks like that's just a cornerstone or something of the building. Corner of the building. I don't know what this is. A demon or something? I'm not sure what that is. See, even though he has his sword drawn, most of the people are either behind him, so not really paying attention to or even noticing him, or they're really, this scene doesn't even really have much in the way of dead people, huh? I mean, you have like this, like the leg being swallowed by the fish. But most of the people in this painting, most of them are not dead. There's this, like a giant toddler's head or something. But we can't zoom in on that. So presumably this is not significant, at least in comparison to something like that. And over here, I mean, it's pretty much everybody is dead. This might be like a demon, maybe. Maybe it's just a skeleton. This could be like a demon or something, possibly. But there are these people being afflicted by something. You know, they're hurt and suffering from something. Over here, there's a jester, but then this guy with a mask. Like, I don't understand a lot of this symbolism. I'm not sure what that how that ties into the other stuff. So I don't know. Not sure. Demon baby arms. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know for sure, but I think you might. Are you referring to these? I think you're referring to these, right? Right here, bottom right of the. I think that's you're talking about that, right? I saw those. If that's what you're talking about. If you're talking about something else, then maybe I did miss it. How am I going to do this? If there were some way, for example, to get closer to the windows, some of the windows, and then to do something at each of them, or any of them, frankly, then it would be a little bit different. I might be like, oh, we can, you know, kind of like we did what we did in the crypt or something. We have like the mirror and you deflect the light or something. Maybe we could do something like that and pinpoint light or whatever. But there's no way to do that in this game. You can't get to any of the windows really. I wasn't sure. Maybe we could put something on the towel or take the towel with us or something somehow. Doesn't look like that's a thing though. Pretty sure I already tried this. Cut the towel though. Nope, you could hurt yourself. So, damn it, Jim. I am a person, not an idiot. Yeah, so I don't know. See, these windows also, you cannot get any closer. Oh, that's a flaw. We don't have that mirror there anymore. Yet this reflection still shows that mirror. Don't. Game bug. Not like it matters. It's a small one. I don't actually care, but I'm just saying. I'm not really seeing something between those two different views make me think more. Oh, I could see that too. With certain diseases like leprosy or the bubonic plague, you become withered also. So that also makes you look more like a skeleton. So I could see that, yeah. Man, given how much I slept earlier today, I might be drinking a lot of this caffeine on the stream tonight. Jeez. We'll see. I haven't yet had a point where I had like a brain fog and I started to like have my mind wander or anything, but or zone out or anything. But I've had kind of that nagging, a little bit of a feeling like maybe that something like that could happen, and I'm like, I don't want to have that. So See, so some of these paintings now might represent this demon consuming people in the sacrifice. Now that we know more about the stuff that Blackwood was researching and stuff, it might make a little bit more sense in that regard. You know, screw it. I mean, I'm sure I won't get anything new, but I'm gonna go back out to the garden, try to dig again. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I don't know where I need to dig, but I'm still gonna try to dig again. Seeing if the text changes at all if I go over a certain part. The soil in this area of the garden was devoid of life. What I want to know is, why is he such a scared little kid or whatever that he doesn't want to go out to, like, he won't actually just walk out into the garden. Like, why? Why would you not just go? It's not like there's anybody here. One, there's not like there's anybody here to stop you. But two, it's not like there's actually a garden really anymore. It's just dead. It's just dirt and dead plants, right? So. Oh! What the? My first click? What? I mean, I'm not complaining at all. But how in the crap was my first click today with the shovel the right spot? You need a mole. Wait, you mean the thing on your face that kind of is brown and sticks out some? Because I don't think that's going to help, Silo. I'm not sure. Well, how's that going to be useful? A mole like that's weird. I don't know why you'd ever say that. No, I never got the light off of the bike. Never did. Okay, well now I'm curious how we dig the hole, but we didn't. Wait, what? No, wait, I didn't want to undo it. Oh, maybe I'm doing different spots? I don't know. Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe now that I know I need something from her body, I can dig wherever. So I try different spots. Okay, so let's try a spot that actually seems like it might be where I need to dig, rather than just clicking wherever, which is something like about there, I think. I'm not positive, but I think so. Not quite. Maybe over here? Is this going to keep digging the same spot? It looks the same each time it digs. I can't interact with anything here either. No, it's not the right spot anyway. Yeah, I can't really do much with that bike, actually. Well, as it turns out, Silwell, I have a beautiful face, no lucky moles on it. So, unfortunately, suck it. Just kidding. Okay. I don't know if I just keep trying various spots, or if it's like one of these spots is going to be something different, or if it's just I don't have yet enough other stuff to know where to dig. Feels like it might be the latter, that I just don't know enough stuff yet. I'm closer, definitely, but not close enough. I mean, at least now I can dig. Before, I couldn't dig at all. So there is that. Over here, maybe? See, it shows the same thing over and over again. So I feel like it's maybe we need one more thing before we're going to dig in somewhere that even remotely has a chance to help us out. So, okay, so I'm going to stop this for now. We're going to have to figure out how we know where her body is. Just making sure there's nothing over this way. Yeah. So it's for sure something over here. I think we finished up with stuff in the church last time, right? I don't know that there's anything more to find in the church itself. I dig where there are actually rocks, maybe? I still think this is going to be nothing for now. Just give it one last try as we're right before we leave. Yeah. See, we're not... I would expect to see an item or a... Well, I guess you could consider it an item, but an item or a bone or something if we were on the right track. So, we do need something else, I think, in order to dig in the proper spot. But we've definitely made progress, because now it lets us at least try to dig, even if we dig in completely the wrong place for the time being. Speaking of that bike, let's go one more time in and see if we could do anything with it that somehow I've missed trying previously. I could do that and spin the back wheel or the back tire, but oh, I see. That's the pedal. When I was seeing the backside of this pedal over here, like end here, I was thinking it was maybe something I could grab, but it's just like a pedal. Like, it's... If we were on the other side of the bike, we'd be looking at the inside of this bar holding the pedal. So... Okay. So excuse me. Pretty sure I've already tried the screwdriver. It's not useful, apparently. I beg to differ. Screwdriver's always useful. Maybe just I don't use it in this spot. As far as I can figure, the device that's attached to it is this motor right here. Well, sorry, this is the motor right here. Plus the wires attached to it and the clamp holding it on. The wires going over to here to the headlight and then the headlight there. As far as I can tell, that's the device attached to it it's talking about. And I assume, based on that text, at some point, somehow, the game wants me to pull that off of the bicycle, but I don't know. I don't know how to do that. I'm not controlling the direction. When I have this hand icon, I tap the left mouse button, and then it spins automatically. I can't control. And if I right-click, that just shows me inventory, so I can't, like, do a backwards version of it. And there's this that I can examine when I do this with the crowbar. It's like, well, it's empty, so I won't really waste my time with the crowbar on that. But there's nothing else to do to interact with it either, I don't think. So I don't know. It's less likely with things like the knife, the pencil, the pen. I suppose you could do it just to do it, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to let me. Yep, none of those. I don't know. Like, turn it? I can turn it until the cows come home, honestly. It'll just keep repeating the sequence, I think. As far as I could tell, I might be missing something, but as far as I could tell, see, it gets the light up here to go, but I don't know, it doesn't really seem to... It's almost like I want to do it at nighttime or something, and then maybe it will reveal something that it's shining on over here or something, but I can't get it. I can't go at a different angle either, because if I go like, well, first of all, I'm too far away, so go back here and you have this angle. Yeah, you can't get a different angle. Like, I can't turn while this is going to look at that. You get a little bit of light there, but I don't know if anything more is going to happen right now. So that's what, like 8, 9, something like that turns of this I've done, 10 maybe, and I still don't get anything new. So hopefully that was enough for you to examine whatever you were trying to examine, because I'm not actually sure, but I don't think it's changing anything doing 1 time versus 6 times or something. I don't think there's any difference. Excuse me. Yeah, it's unfortunately, at least in that case, it's pretty. So obviously, that's not going to be going backwards on. That's not a thing, or else it would let you, right? But unfortunately, looks like that bicycle is fairly limited in the kinds of interactions it allows. So. What was the other thing? I don't even remember now. We go back really fast and see. Well, I've not done anything new, actually, so probably we'll just speed jump. Go back to here. We'll go down below. We'll do this. Just because it's faster, and then we can warp. Then we can warp back to where we had been. So let's look at. Nope, that's the letter. We don't want that. We want this, the notes. Okay, so we want. Two main elements are required. I'm going to write these down. I think I wrote them down before, but I don't see my notes, so maybe not. Okay, so one representing the victim, one the victimizer. So to achieve this, something related to each one was used. Okay, I'm not sure what was referred to as the victim. I think it could be concluded anything belonging to any villager would have served, given they were all victims. As for something representing the victimizer, would have been more complicated. What could possibly be related to a god? This god in question. Next, these elements had to be mixed with a rare medicinal plant. Okay, so we want item representing victimizer. Item representing victim. Excuse me. Nope. Guess I wasn't done. Okay, and then they have to be mixed with the rare medicinal plant. So number 3 is the plant. I also don't know what they mean by mix it. Like I was saying before, maybe you have to grind something into powder and then use that and then get the pound the plant so you get the juices from the berries and stuff, and then you use that to blend. I don't know. I don't remember if I used it since going to the chapel. I don't know if I used it or not. I can't remember. I feel like I probably did, but I don't know for sure, so we might want to do that. It's a good point. Apparently, the plant has the properties to blend both items together as long as they're not too solid. Finally, a branch of a particular tree. So the 4th is the branch. Yep. And had to be used as a holder of the blended items. You take those, put them on that, and then Jenny? Who's Jenny? Do you mean Barbara, his secretary, or somebody else? I'm not sure who you mean when you say Jenny. Okay, I was mainly on that just so I could get the items we need again. So we'll reload this. We won't be outside where we were, but it's not going to matter because we haven't done anything except wander around. So, in fact, this might be easier anyway because we're going to be not too far from the phone. What? Oh, I went here. Whoops. Well, whatever. It's fine. Are you talking to, is this an 867-5309 reference? Just because she wrote her number on the wall doesn't mean she knows how to solve African curses. Jenny, I got your number on the wall. Jenny, when I've got a curse, call. Yeah, I don't feel like that works really. Barbara, she has the day off. Yep. Jerry, see if he says anything. Oh, new conversation with Jerry. Good.
Yes.
Jerry, it's me.
Michael, I was about to call you.
Why?
I've been thinking about what you told me, and you could be onto something there. But I'm worried about your safety now. This could be dangerous.
What do you mean by dangerous?
Well, let's suppose you're right, and James Blackwood is indeed hiding somewhere inside the house. He's a madman, a murderer, and your life could be in danger.
Jerry, if James Blackwood is still alive, he'd be nothing more than a harmless, decrepit old man. I don't think I'd have any problem outdoing him.
And what if he is armed?
I'm willing to take that risk. He surely knows I'm here by now. What if he's waiting for me to leave so that he can escape? I can't miss this opportunity.
The opportunity of what, for Christ's sake?
Of knowing. I'm already too much into this, Jerry. And if I don't know what happened inside this house, I won't be able to sleep again.
You're obsessed. You were supposed to finish your book, get some rest, and now look at this. What are you going to say to your editor?
Who knows? Maybe this whole episode inspires me to write that ending. I'm sorry. I can't leave this now, Jerry. It's too late.
I can't believe this. I don't understand you. Doesn't the possibility of spending another night in that house with a creepy old man hiding in the basement scare you?
I know what you're trying to do. Goodbye, Jerry.
Michael! It's dangerous, do you hear me? Dangerous! You have to leave that place!
I'll keep you informed.
Michael is an idiot. Okay. Oh, yeah. It's a good song. I mean, it's, it's a fun song, I would say. I don't know if it's really a very high-quality song, but it's a fun song. That's when I say a good song, I mean like a song you can have fun with. Usually when I say that, I don't usually mean like the quality of the song is exceptional. If I'm talking about the quality of the song, I'll usually talk about specific aspects of a song. Oh. I mean, I guess technically Silwell, I suppose. I don't know why if somebody choked on a muffin, you'd be thinking about doing some kind of African chanting ceremony, but I suppose that could apply, sure. You're weird. You do like African ritual chants and stuff when somebody is choking rather than trying to help them out so they don't choke to death? It's kind of cold of you, man. It's kind of heartless. I feel like maybe your priorities are a little bit out of whack. Still 2 p.m., so we didn't forward really because of the difference in time. We just got Jerry panicking that we're still in the house, which rightfully he should. We definitely should not be here still. Hey, Somni, welcome. Welcome back, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you visiting us again. All right, so we know that YouTube is really kind of dumb. If you've not been to my Twitch channel, you should go there because when I'm offline, I've now included a card below where the video normally plays that shows you a countdown of how much time until my stream. So if you ever are not sure the hour, like how long to wait or whatever, you could just go there. You can just go there and see how many hours from the time you're looking, and it will tell you, so you'll know how much time still to wait. So, I do also try to maintain, although I come late sometimes if I'm running behind or whatever, But I do try to maintain a regular schedule, especially during quarantine right now, since I'm not allowed really to go anywhere except for like shopping for groceries or something. I pretty much am here during quarantine. So if there's no reason, unless I'm sick or something and like throwing up or something severe, which I haven't been at all, unless something like that happens, I should pretty much always be here for that. Yeah, and you don't have to watch the video on Twitch either, but you can use that as a timer or countdown. I put my schedule in there, and if that schedule ever gets adjusted for whatever reason, then I'll adjust the counter so that you'll know. Like, for example, if I ever go out of town for a weekend, I will cancel. Like, let's say I were going to be gone Friday and Saturday, but I'd be back Sunday, let's say. Then I would cancel the timer for Friday and Saturday, so it would not show for that at all. And then on Sunday, you would see the counter and you'd know. And I don't know that you have to wait till Sunday, because I think the counter includes days as well. So on Friday, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you can check on Friday and it would say like a day and 23 hours or something like that, whatever, for how long until the next stream. Yeah, they really are. So... Yep, so sorry about that. Yeah, I also, like I said, I try to stay consistent with my streaming times. So hopefully that won't be, once you're used to it, hopefully it'll be easy to remember. I just can't think of what. So, since you got the notification late, I've already gone back out to the garden outside and tried digging. And it does dig now. But because I don't know where Catherine's body exactly is, I just dig a hole and there's just dirt. And I hover all around the hole and there's nowhere to interact. So currently, I cannot dig in the right spot, although that's better than before. So before the chapel, I didn't definitively know I needed to dig. So even though we had the newspaper article saying her body was out there, I didn't know that I needed to dig, so it wouldn't let me even dig. Now I can dig, but I just don't know the right spot. So I have to pinpoint that before I can make more progress. So I got to figure that out. I still am convinced we're going to have to lift off the cover plate in the basement at some point. There are at least a couple of sets of drawers on the first level here that I cannot open. Possibly something in one of those will be significant. Possibly. Don't know for sure. Maybe, though. I've already tried to again examine the paintings here and over here, the zoom in part. I haven't really gotten any new information from those that I've noticed. Like anything that's like, oh, maybe that means this. I haven't really made any connection that way. Yeah, sure. Yep. So let's start with this one. Okay, so here's the one where you have all the demons and dead people and stuff around, and he's at the dinner table with his sword. So if something there implies a tie to something in the game, let me know, because it's going over my head if I'm trying to analyze it. I can tell different kinds of symbolism. Silhouette was great and pointed out, for example, that a lot of times people like this, in these kind of paintings, were portraying somebody with a disease because they carried death with them, as it were, right? So that could represent death, but that doesn't help. I mean, there's a lot of death involved in the mystery, so that doesn't necessarily help. A pick in the maid's nightstand of the burial site? Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. We can go to that. I know what you mean now. Yes, we can go to that. It was in the floorboard, but that is correct. I guess this way will be faster because we don't have doors in the way. Oh, well, let me just... No, we can always come back here. It's not that hard. We'll go there now since that's what you're asking about. I wasn't sure which pick you meant, so that's... So here. Yeah, it was the floorboard below her nightstand, I think. Here's her little, well, nightstand, or it's more like an end table. Even though it's not on the end, it's more like an end table next to the bed. But yeah, effectively it works like that. So here's the picture of the garden. Like I said, I hovered my mouse basically when I was actually out there in this spot. So it had the magnifying glass. Then I right-clicked, went to my inventory, grabbed the shovel, came back out, made sure I was in the same spot with the shovel, and then clicked, and it zoomed in and showed like several things of dirt being moved, like moving out of the way, but there never was anything underneath the dirt. So we didn't dig far enough, at least. The shadow? Oh, maybe. I was thinking this was the pinnacle from the roof of the house where we are. But maybe. And then Fox is saying wait. So okay. I don't know how long you wanted me to wait, but it could be. Like I said, I had just kind of sort of shrugged it off initially in looking at this photo because I had just assumed it was a shadow from the house, but maybe not. Okay, so maybe we go more closely. Okay, let me do this again. Oh. Let's do like this. There we go. Okay, I've got now a screenshot of that so that I can look and see. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Okay, so we can go out, see if. So are you thinking maybe dig under where the shadow is or dig where the shadow's pointing? The shadow is kind of pointing to where they are, so I don't know if that's anything new. Maybe it's dig under the shadow? Possibly. Let's do this because it's faster. No doors. Which IRL wouldn't be tricky, but in this game it's a little hard. Not exactly hard, but takes a little bit to get your mouse pointer over a handle or something. Yeah, sorry I didn't get the next part of We Happy Few up today so that I could then also do Elix tonight or early tomorrow morning and then do Last of Us tomorrow as well. I spent a ridiculous number of hours, extra hours that I wasn't expecting to, sleeping. So, oh, you know what? I wonder if it's not a shadow. I wonder if this is, or this could be shadow also, but I wonder if this is burned or charred or something. But this might be the spot because it's darker. It's a good call. Let's try that. See, this is what I saw before. I didn't see anything in here that was revealed that I could interact with or anything. Yeah, see, it's not letting me do anything additional. Oh, wait, here? Maybe. No, yeah. Only interacts because you can back out. Yeah. Under or around it. Yeah, maybe. Like I said, it's hard to know exactly, but there's definitely a possibility. So you can't do here. Won't interact. Maybe if we follow it up to there. The tip. Maybe it's where the tip is. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe it's pointing to it or something. It's not. It looks to me, it looks exactly the same, telling me it's probably not. At least where we clicked just now is not correct. And I assume that's the same as grabbing the shovel. Yeah, it's grabbing the shovel. I think we're close. We're just not quite there. What if I go one more and then I look this way? Can I see the... You can't really make it out very well this way. I think it's kind of this, but you can't really see that going this way. I do think we probably need to be on this screen to be able to get any of that. They're sort of here in that well, no. Let's see. Kind of like here, in between the two sets of rocks, and then kind of in front of these rocks. Something like this. Yeah, it's the same. I feel like not the same thing, because I don't expect the game to use the same tricks or whatever over and over again, the same puzzle solutions over and over, but I kind of feel like it's something similar to the light in the crypt deflecting to show us something. I feel like there's something else that has to happen that will pinpoint the location for us. I could be wrong, obviously, because I've not played this before. But I feel like it's probably something a little bit different that's going to lead us to what we want. Yeah, like right here, maybe. This could be, or this could be. Yeah, it looks like there could be more stuff in here. But it's just not, it's not really working. Oh, she did. This photo was taken by their maid, and the maid is the one in the newspaper article who called the police and said, hey, I just saw Blackwood burying a body in the garden. That was actually in the newspaper article we read way earlier in the game. So we actually do know that, Silhouette. We actually did find that out. I don't know if you're trying to make a joke or if you're being serious. I assume you're being serious, in which case, yeah, we did actually know that. Now, if you're not serious, if you're joking, then I'm not quite sure I understand the joke, so I apologize. I'm not always the quickest on uptake for jokes and stuff. See, it looks very clearly like there's this outline of darkness, right? Going around here. But that digging in that does not seem to do anything. And this again, it's the same dirt stuff. Exact same pattern and stuff for the dirt as we saw before, so it's nothing new. So there's got to be something. I suppose it's possible. So this is the dining room with the 3 windows facing outside. And here's the bottom of the tower, so the bottom of the stairs that circularly go up, right? Wrapping around the outside of that. Yeah. Yeah, I thought you were serious. So I was just saying, just in case you were joking also, then I wasn't getting the joke. But I thought you were serious. So good. I didn't miss a joke. Yeah, I don't actually know. I feel like she probably took the photo before it was too late so she'd have some kind of evidence to show them as well. Then she immediately called the police, but then she also, because she had that back room, right, the bathroom behind her bedroom, where she used it as a darkroom to develop pictures. I feel like she probably developed the photo there and then hid it under that floorboard so that in case something happened to her, they tried to shut her up or whatever, someone would be able to find it and spot where he actually buried her. Yeah, I feel like that might be it, Sami. We might need one more thing. I'm really not sure. The shadow by the house? Like over here? Well, I can't even get to that, unfortunately. That's too far away. This over here, it won't let me approach any more closely. And if I go over here, it doesn't let me interact. So this side of the walkway, I think, is pretty much a no-go. I don't think anything here is going to happen. Now, if you're talking, Fofox, about going outside the back on the way to the crypt, and then looking, when I look left from there, I don't see any shadows. I see a little bit of space and some bushes, but there are no shadows from that angle when I'm over there. Oh, okay, well, rather than try to fool around with OBS to get that for you, I've already got a screen cap, but since I don't want to mess around with OBS and, you know, take some time to try to figure that out and stuff, I'll just go back and you can take a screen cap, okay? So we'll head back in. I'll show the photo one more time. Let me know just in chat, say, got it, and then take a picture, and then you can know, you'll have that, and we can go on from there, okay? So give me just a second to get back to that room. I think that's going to be faster than monkeying with OBS, trying to put an image that'll display on screen and not get in the way of other stuff and whatever. So hang on a sec. Yeah, no worries, man. I appreciate you being willing to, well, one, obviously watch my stream, but then two, try to help out and stuff. I appreciate it. So same goes for you, Silhouette and Fofox, both. If you don't want to, or if you can't, or whatever, that's fine too. But if you want to try to take a screenshot of that, then you could do that. So I don't know. I'm not sure on an iPhone. I don't have an iPhone. But on an Android, you should be able, if you want to take a screenshot on an Android, if you don't know how, you should be able to use the power or the sleep/power button that's on top, and then the on the volume button, the down volume side of that. If you do the power and down volume at the same time, hold it briefly for like maybe half a second or a second, and then let go. It'll take a picture. You do have to be pretty decently exact on your timing to get it to work, but you can do that, and then that will take a screenshot of whatever is on your phone, and then you can save that. So okay, so you got a screenshot, Somni. Okay, Silhouette, Fofox, just let me know yes, wait a second, or no, I'm good, whenever you can, so I know when to unpause this and to back out and continue searching. That way I give you guys an opportunity to get it if you want it, and if you don't, then we just move on. So, in the chat, let me know. And in fact, I'm going to go fill up my bottle with some more to drink. So, you decide on that. Put it in the chat if you want it. Yes or no. Either way, put something so that I know. And I'm going to go get... Excuse me. Okay, Faux Fox says you're good. Okay, Silwell, whether you said something or not, I'm just going to move on. If you need me to come back at some point, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just assume that you're good and don't need a screenshot. Okay, so that's from the garden. I don't really know. Like you said, I think we might need... Yeah, I did. When I was out there, one of the places I was trying to dig was what looked like it would be the tip of where the shadow is. Excuse me. Yeah, I did. When I was out there digging, I did try to go to the tip, but I didn't find anything that seemed... Like when I dug there, it was just more of the same kind of dig stuff we saw before. I don't know that it's significant at all. I mean, obviously it was significant in terms of it got us the letter R, and then with the blocks, with the help from you guys last time, we figured out that was Robin. But I don't know. Other than that, I don't know that there's any significance from it or with it. But I do want to see if maybe there's something to remove the faceplate from the baby's crib that has not yet been done. Like maybe we can remove that faceplate and then we use that faceplate later for something. I don't know, but possibly. Inscription is too eroded, but I can make out the letter R on the far left. It says it's too eroded, but it actually looks like they just put R. Like there are these little quote marks around it or something. Because if there's an O, that should be like there. It shouldn't have this line straight up and down. It'd be a curved line. I'm not trying to be critical of the way that was designed. I'm just saying, but... Taking the plaque with me was a good idea, but its screws were practically fused to the stone. So if we were going to do something with it, we would need something that would maybe pry it or something. Didn't have enough surface to lever with a crowbar. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to be able to grab that right now. If ever. We may not even ever grab it. It's just something that looks like... Because it does say it's a good idea to take it with me, but it doesn't actually let me, right? So... maybe shadow in the picture is the roof of the chapel. Yeah, it might be. Silhouette. It's a good point. It could be the roof of the chapel. Oh. I was going to say, we've not... gone to the top of the chapel and then tried to look out the windows, but I don't remember windows being in that part of the chapel. Maybe they were, but yeah, that's what I was trying to do too. But when I went to the next screen to potentially dig, I don't think the shadow wasn't showing from that second screen, so I'm not really sure if we can get that, but we could try it for sure. It's definitely worth a try. Maybe I just wasn't seeing it right. Whoops, went too far. Okay, here. It does look like the shadow, but the thing is the shadow is being cast from... So there's a window. If you look on the left side of that picture that was taken, right, there's the edge with a little handle indicating it's one of the windows, like one of the windows from the tower here. It's one of those windows, right? This is from the house looking out also. That's what she had said. Well, she saw it, like she took a picture while she was in the house. So it's in the house, window on the left, and it's facing out away from here. The shadow from this tower is what we would be seeing, because the chapel is down over there, which would mean the shadow would be casting in this direction. But it's not. The shadow is going in this direction. So I don't think it could be... It does look like the chapel, kind of, but I don't actually think it could be the chapel. Not to mention, I think the chapel, because we go a couple of screens away before we even get to the chapel. So I feel like with all these trees and stuff, their shadow would be blocking a lot more and prevent us from seeing the chapel shadow. I could be wrong. I definitely could. But I think those would be blocking. And then, like I said, the shadow seems to be coming down this way. Like it seems to start up here from this part of the house and move in this direction. If it were coming from the chapel, it would start up over by the trees here and move down this way. Right? When we go back over here and we look at the rocks, look at the rock layout on that photo. This seems to match that layout of the rocks. So if the rock layout is correct from this direction, then it would have to be a shadow from here because it's coming from the bottom of the photo. Yeah, we could try. I don't think so because I don't think the rocks match, but let's go over there and see. The thing is that the rocks over here are much flatter, like cobblestone for walking on. Well, there aren't a lot of them, but what ones there are seem a lot flatter, like cobblestone to walk on. They don't seem to match that kind of stone. I do think it's cool that if you look up at the sky, you can see the clouds moving. That's pretty nice. I love that effect. This is, keep in mind, this is a mid-2000s point and click. Point and clicks generally don't have movement of any kind, and yet you have just even something small like the clouds here moving. It's really cool. Yeah, I don't really think though this is going to be a thing. None of the stones or foliage or openness or anything seem to match what's in that photograph. Oh, from the chapel? Okay, so if we're at the chapel right here, we go forward one, we go left, there's no indicator, no pointing finger or anything saying we could go to the left, and if we say to go to the right, again, there's no pointing finger or anything going to the right. There's the pointing finger straight, and that's pretty much it. As far as I can tell. I cannot see another way to go. You can't even go over to the side here, for example. It doesn't really let you at all. It's always possible, places I've looked previously, I've just not looked at quite the right spot or whatever, but I've looked through these kinds of things, these sides here, like, because this looks like there's a hole to go through, but I've gone like this, and I can't seem to find any way forward. There's a tree in the left of the picture? I'm not seeing a tree. I see the window on the left side of the picture, and then I see the garden with a bunch of stones in different spots. I do still agree about the shadow, but I don't know when we try. Like right here. Let's see. Looks like... yeah, it looks like it's basically like right here where the rocks are, basically. Maybe not exactly, but it looks like it's basically the right spot. But I don't think so. Yeah. See, all of this is nothing still. Man, I was really convinced we would dig her up this time, too. Hope we figure something out. Let's see. What else do I have on me that's... You know what? Just since we're here, basically, let's... I don't remember there being any windows, but let's see if there's... But I see there's no... Yeah. There's a coat rack where there's no window here. The only window really we have in the chapel is out here. And that seems to be the back of the chapel, away, even farther away from the manor. We cannot interact with the window at all, looking out it or anything. Now that light does... Well, it doesn't really. I'll say that light comes out this way, but it doesn't really shine on a specific spot because you have the light from these windows all doing that. So I'm not really sure. Cannot go over this way any farther. So, okay, Faux Fox, you said you need to look outside again. So here we are outside. If you compare the picture with this, and I realize if some of you are watching on a mobile device of some kind, you might have to like kind of tab between things or something. But so here you are outside, and you've got the picture. So do your comparison and see. As far as I can tell, though, we've tried where the shadow goes. And not... It does also look like the shadow... Well, this darker spot is to the side more than the shadow should be. It looks to me like the shadow probably came sometime around here, which would have put us, because it's a different time of day, slowly move which direction. Tell me which direction you want me to move, Faux Fox. No. Time of day does not change. I mean, as far as I've seen, time of day does not change except it's day or night. And yesterday in game, so today's Monday is the day of the week in the game. Yesterday in the game, Sunday, it was raining all day. But Monday, as far as I could tell, looks just like Saturday did. And like things from like 11 in the morning or 10 or 11 in the morning or noon or 2 p.m. All those times, they seem, as far as I could tell, they seem to all be the same time still. In fact, what I could do, let's see. Maybe I could do this. Hang on. Let me. Here's a 10 a.m. on Monday. So let me save this. So we've already done the call with Jerry and stuff. I'll save this here over slot 2. We haven't really done anything yet, but I'll save it here. So we're in the same spot where we are right now. Okay, now let me load this. Where we're in the living room at 10 a.m. Let's go out and look at the garden and see if that shadow is moved. And then we could test that theory. Okay, so let's go out here. And we'll see. Because I'm not actually sure. I was not paying attention to things like shadows and burn marks and stuff. So far, things seem to be more or less the same. That is kind of a cool light effect coming through the clouds, though. But let's see. If we go over here, and then we look... No, it does look different. Although this is also before we had been to the chapel and discovered those other things. But it does look different. It does look like this is the dark area here versus over here. So maybe it does change. That might be a thing. Maybe it is different. See, before doing the chapel things, well, this is actually even before we got the shovel. So that wouldn't work anyway. But anyway, my point is that it looks like it does actually change. But that, to the right, hang on, back to the right, that does confirm that it changes. But I don't know if the change has to do with the time of day, or if the change has to do with we've now progressed farther in the game, triggering certain events, so now the ground will look differently. I'm not sure.